Yeah, man. I can see I've got it down here as well.
Hey, going
Watching us.
guys. Welcome to the Johnny and KP show. But today there is no Johnny. We have Geo filling in for the big man Johnny. Um, Johnny G is saying he's on patrol there, so we'll get straight into it. How you going, Geo?
Good man, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. The boys can let us know in the chat if there's anything wrong with the audio or anything, or how things are going. But I think everything looks like it's running pretty smooth. Um, all right, so who we got there? We got Chris is talking about the challenge before. 5G was wild. Johnny's on patrol, like we said. So first thing we're going to get into is that our headline is so Ole's been sacked,
Yeah.
and you predicted we're going to lose to Watford, and we did.
Yeah.
We
Well,
did.
I predicted the 2-1 scoreline, and we were pretty close to that 2-1 until the last 90th minute or whatever, where they got a couple of quick goals and just put the icing on the cake. And just talking about that game as well, like we could have been so much worse. It
Yeah,
could have
it
been
could have
so
been.
much worse.
It could have been very bad, couldn't it? It
you know,
was.
and we're just conceding goals at the moment, like just leaking goals like crazy. It's,
It's amazing when you think Harry Maguire cost 80 million. We bought Varane. Wan-Bissaka cost
yeah,
50 million. You know, De
Luke Shaw,
Gea and Luke Shaw, and we're conceding goals like we're leaking like a sieve. That's how bad we are.
it's ridiculous.
Jess is in the chat. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, it's
Jess.
it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's really bad. Like it's. But
Yeah,
we I think I can't remember what John said last week.
I think he said it was going to be a
No,
draw,
I'm not
maybe.
talking about that. I know he said a draw in that, but I think we all kind of predicted that he might not last the week. We were all sort of
Nah,
pushing to that.
yeah, I don't know. It just seems like maybe the players just had given up on him at that point.
They down tools. Anyone that's played knows that they down tools.
Yeah,
It was so ironic that the only person that came on and played for him was the one
was Van der
guy.
Beek.
Yeah, no, it's true. The
Yeah,
only
it's true.
person,
It's 100%
and
true.
maybe De Gea. I won't say De Gea. I mean, he saved two penalties, whatever.
Yeah,
Um, Jess says, "Hi guys, just here supporting. We love the support."
that's we love the support. It's
Yeah, so
awesome.
maybe De Gea and Van der Beek, like he has played 19 minutes or something this year, like something ridiculous, and he was the only one that he came on and played for him.
Mm,
He was best on ground.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
Well,
it
for
was
us
just.
anyway, for us.
Yeah, yeah. It's just so surreal at the moment. Like even though we sort of predicted it and all that stuff, it's just. I We touched on it last week. I don't like seeing anyone fail at all, especially for our club.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amanda said, "Support a real team, go Chelsea." It happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
Tony at my work, he's a big Chelsea supporter, and he's very happy at the moment. And we were talking about this the other day with him when Lampard was
No,
in
the same
charge, and
situation.
they had to get rid of him. Like, and since they have gone from strength to
Yeah,
strength.
that's right. That's
Like,
right.
so it's just one of those calls you have to make.
So on in saying that, they put out a statement. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that Carrick is in charge, that he's still in a job.
Yeah,
How's he in a
crazy.
job when he was his assistant? What's going to change?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's still, you know,
Listen, I love them both. They're both heroes of
yeah,
mine. But what's going to change? What's going
yeah.
to change? That he was his assistant for 3 years. What's going to change?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you get rid of the manager and keep the rest of the staff. It's
It's
just,
ridiculous. But I'm thinking in
yeah,
that they're thinking, because of what Carrick said in his press conference today, it's sort of, he goes, I'm only thinking about next match, which sort of paints the picture that he knows someone's probably coming in. They're going to bring their own
yeah,
staff, and he's not going to be there. That's what I think. You know,
probably,
it's so if we go down that road, um, like they're saying, Rogers, Zidane, Ten Hag, Pochettino. There's Enrique. Right now,
Didn't we lose our
who's
chance?
at Ranić as well? Who's realistic to you right now?
Well, didn't we lose our chance with Pochettino? Didn't he go
Well, he's
somewhere?
at PSG, but apparently he's not happy. He came out today. All these stories have come out because
Yeah,
he's obviously letting the stories out. He wants the United job.
he
Oh,
does. Okay.
definitely. And it's hey Reborn, how you going? Lovely to have you with us again.
Reborn.
So we're back after a week. We're back after a week, Reborn, and Ole has got the sack, and Liverpool smashed
Yeah,
Arsenal 4-0, so I'm sure
yeah.
you're pretty happy. But yeah, in saying that,
I like to
who's
once. Yeah.
realistic to you?
Um, I just don't know. Like, 'cause I haven't been following the manager thing that much. So, but I think the most realistic choice they're going to go for is probably Rodgers.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I
Yeah.
think. I mean,
I see. I
'cause
personally I actually think that knowing that Pochettino's not happy and Zidane doesn't want the job, Zidane is a
he hasn't come out.
Zidane is a Parisian. I would
Yeah,
say if they go pay out Pochettino's fee, the next day Zidane would be PSG manager. And that's what I reckon.
PSG
So
have
I
shown
reckon
they've
they're going to
got.
go. See, I
Yeah,
agree with Johnny is saying Poch. I actually think, not
yeah,
that I'm not saying any of them are my first choice, but I actually think he's the most realistic.
yeah,
And I've been watching all
yeah.
these other United videos. There's this people, they're all people saying Rodgers is better than him. And I actually think Poch is better than Rodgers. That's me, personally.
Well, yeah. I mean, considering the amount of money that PSG's got, it doesn't sound like a far off thing. Just pay out the contract and then hire Zidane, and Zidane will probably take
He'll
the job
take
because, like
PSG
you
like
said,
that.
he's
Yeah.
yeah. Especially with with the squad they got
Listen,
as well.
there's this myth. All these people are saying that that Pochettino is failing at PSG this year, but he's 10 points clear in the league, and they're top of their Champions League group they're in a group with Man City. So how's he failing?
Well, how's that
Yeah, I
failing?
know, but everyone is saying it.
Was it?
I don't know, Reborn, you can tell us. You're in England. They're all saying that he's failing at the moment, but he's not. He might be not getting 5-6-0 wins, but he's still winning.
Yeah,
And Reborn has just said Poch has EPO experience, and that's what I think. He's
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
I mean, yeah. It doesn't sound that far off, does
Chris,
it?
the big man, has said, could Man United get regulated? And I would say only if Warren G goes and see them, they'll get regulated. But relegated, maybe? I don't know.
I don't. Yeah,
They might
regulated.
get regulated if Warren G gets in the house,
I mean, look, I think the boys are definitely going to have to lift over the next few games, and I think they will because that's what usually happens when a manager gets sacked.
Yeah.
So
I think best case scenario, what's going to be is Carrick is going to take Villarreal, and then I actually think Carrick is going to take Chelsea, but I think the next manager is going to be in the stands at the Chelsea game.
Yeah,
like
probably.
they do. That's what they do because then they know the first game for the next manager will be Arsenal at home, Old Trafford bounce. Let's beat Arsenal, who just got smacked by Liverpool. We've got if we get a good manager in, just they're going to write Villarreal. They don't have to get anything from it. They're going to write Chelsea off because they're going to beat us. That's it.
Yeah.
And Reborn is saying exactly what I'm saying. For right now, Carrick, and it's true. Listen, I loved Carrick as a player. He was one of the most underrated players to ever play the game.
Oh, 100%. I used to love. Yeah, I used to love watching him play. His passing and his movement. Yeah, it was great.
But he's got no managerial experience. It's just like Ole. Like you're going into arguably the biggest job in the world on work experience. You can't do that.
No. I think, touching what we said last week, he had such a good run as an interim manager where he came in and came back from PSG, and then Rio Ferdinand was like, Rio Ferdinand is never going to live that one
he knows it.
spill that he put down. Like, sign the contract, put him down, give him whatever money he wants, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's never going to live that down.
I was watching his YouTube channel today, and he actually said, he goes, listen, I'm a fan. He goes, if Carrick wins 3 games in a row, he goes, I'm going to be up in Carrick. Like, he's admitting it. He admits it. He goes, I'm, he's my mate.
Yeah.
For one, like.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I just love to know. I'm going to ask Reborn a question. I just want to know what the the general vibe is around England at the moment, or, especially around United.
Listen, like, it's unheard of for the past 30 years United to be like this. Like, it's,
yeah,
it's,
it's
I don't know, it's crazy. Like,
it it's almost like, it's not like we said it last week. It's not like we've got a shit squad, but it almost feels like that declining to, like, the post Fergie era,
yeah.
and we just have never gotten back to that since he
Oh, no
left.
way. That's a fact. Like, it's Johnny has said. John has said I think he said bring Arsene in for the rest of the season. I would never want that personally. I mean, I don't know if John will say. I
Wenger,
don't know if
no,
John will say that if he was actually on the show, but I would
yeah,
rather they bring in either go get Pochettino right now because he actually wants the job. I'm sick of getting people
yeah,
that don't want the job. They're just there for whatever reasons. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I know money talks, but Zidane doesn't want it. See ya. Go away. You
yeah,
don't want it. Pochettino wants it. Go get him. Pay the money, man. You're the
yeah,
biggest club. Go get him. Or if you're not going to do that, you're waiting to the summer. Go get that Ranić that they're talking about. Make him interim to the end of the year, but tell him you're going to be the director of football at the end of this. Go with the
yeah,
plan. Get Woodward, the parasite, out of our club. Reborn said the vibe
yeah,
around United that they're fallen from grace, overpaid, and underperforming prima donnas was a headliner. So that's a valid headline. Valid.
yeah. Until they prove otherwise.
It's valid.
Like,
Valid headline.
seriously.
Because they're the highest paid squad in the league by far. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of money there. Lots of money there.
So much money that's getting paid. Like, and they're saying, like I saw it the other day. Like, I think Alan Shearer was saying it. They're talking about the effort and that, man. You shouldn't, like, effort for a professional footballer should be a prerequisite. You should be given effort no matter what, especially when you're on £300,000 a week.
Regardless of what you're on, man,
on the field, no matter what.
You're playing for Manchester United.
Exactly.
You're playing for Manchester fucking United, and sorry, pardon my French, but
might get Zidane in with French like that.
Yeah, I know, right? But, like, you're playing for Man United. Look, this is coming from a Man United fan, but there's no higher honor.
No, there's not. No, it's as a you're playing all of them: Man United, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Juventus, Bayern Munich, etc. You're playing for these teams. Like, man, you should be giving effort. That should be a prerequisite. Like, I hate when they say, "Oh, he works hard." Yeah, he fucking should work hard. Like, that's like. It's crazy to think that that's what Man United's come to, but Man United reminds me of, and Reborn can comment on this, it reminds me of Liverpool in the 90s when they'd fallen from grace, hadn't won a title
from the
for
80s,
so long, 90s, early 2000s. They were just trying thing after thing that just didn't work. And we're like a mirror image of that at the moment. You saw after the Watford game, Fernandes was blaming the team, so they know they aren't doing enough, but nothing is changing. Yeah, I saw that. That to me, do you know what that was, Reborn? I hated the fact, and I love Bruno Fernandes, but what I hated was he stood 10 metres behind Ole and was doing it, pointing at the team and that. If he'd supported his manager, he would have been standing next to him. Like, I always say, it doesn't matter if you agree with your coach, you do what he says. And they're not obviously doing what he's saying, or, he's just not I don't know, somehow the message isn't getting there. But they definitely weren't playing for him. Like, and De Gea come out after the game and said, from those efforts for Manchester United, he said, is an embarrassment. Well, that's damning. He's the longest serving player, that's damning.
Yeah.
So, if we go on from there, you reckon the realistic possibility is Rodgers?
I mean, just the way that I'm thinking, because it's the only one that's really available, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's still at a club. He's like Poch. He's at a club. It's not. They're gonna have to
Yeah,
pay. They're gonna have to pay for him. They're gonna have to
yeah.
pay for Poch. You know. See, Reborn is saying they don't care. They're getting paid. Doesn't matter to them. So yeah, that's to me that's
See,
ridiculous. You know.
it shouldn't be like
Yeah,
that. Shouldn't be
that's
like that.
ridiculous. Like Ryan Giggs was getting paid. You guys, Steven Gerrard was getting paid. He cared. You know what I mean? Wayne Rooney
Yeah,
was getting. He was the highest paid player in the league. The guy ran like I've never seen anyone
yeah.
run before. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
that's mate. Yeah, I don't know. Like the other thing I wanted to touch on was Harry Maguire.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know how much you love him.
Listen to me. He's not even a Manchester United player, let alone a Man United captain. And how that guy wears our armband. I mean, he got sent off and he chucked the armband to whoever he was giving it to. I was livid and I was watching the game. Like, if I was on the field, I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does someone come in? I know he's captain and drop him. What are your thoughts on it? Does someone come and drop him?
Look,
how can you not?
It's a big call to make. It's a big call to make, but how can you not make it though? I mean, if Varane, he's injured at the moment, isn't he?
I think he's back next week.
Look, I think Lindelof or even Bailey, how do you pronounce his name?
I think that's who should
Bailey. I think if he's fit, Bailey and Varane.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And just see how it goes, because we're leaking goals. He's not quick enough. We paid that money for him, but a lot of people have been paid money for him, been dropped before, and it's worked out. So you got to cut your losses.
That's what Rio Ferdinand was saying that today. He was going, mate. He goes. Everyone was scared to be dropped by Alex Ferguson. He goes, it didn't matter if you were Eric Cantona, Ryan Giggs, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Well, just look what happened with Jaap Stam.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't give a shit.
So Reborn said slabhead, he was shocking. And then he said, how can he be so good for England and so bad for his team that pay his wages? And that's what I always say, Reborn. You know, what a lot of people don't get is, and you've probably seen it as an England supporter, is most of these guys, Rashford, whatever, Giggs, they will pick their club over their country. A lot of people don't realise that. Do you know what I mean? The people that are those diehard men, like... And I mean, like you said, they're paying his wage. England don't pay his wage. You know, and then he goes and scores a header against a team that, like, for real, Albania, and you're silence in the crowd. Like, you for real. And then and the most successful captain in not just Manchester United history, but Premier League, whatever history, calls him an embarrassment, and they get all defensive and say he's bullying him.
Roy
Keane said, he goes, that was an embarrassment. When you've been so bad for your club, he goes, you don't go silence. That's ridiculous. You know, like I don't know. He's just, the guy's terrible. There's nothing else I can say.
Do you think we're going to see a mid-season transfer for a centre midfielder?
It depends if a permanent manager comes in. If an interim comes in, like they're saying, it won't happen.
Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah,
if a permanent manager comes in, surely he's going to push for something. And it depends as well with, like I said, that parasite that is still at our club, Woodward. He's meant to be gone at the end of last season. Then he was meant to be gone January. Now they're talking about him staying on longer. Like, what Johnny's saying is spot on. Bring David Gill back. Like that. That was as much of a loss as losing Ferguson. And losing them both in the same year was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, Woodward, man, like, just get out of the club. Get out of our club. Please.
Yeah.
And you know what? Go get a loan for the Glazers. Buy some other club that they don't give a fuck about and get those parasites out the club too. Like, they hung, as much as I wanted Ole sacked, I did want him sacked, and like I said, he's always be a legend. They hung him out to dry, man. Because he should have got sacked 2 weeks ago. They left him in a job.
Yeah.
And this just went on and on. And what they've done is they hung him out to dry and they shot themselves in the foot because Conte was available 2 weeks ago. He goes and accepts the Tottenham job and then they go, let's sack our manager. It's like, You're
Yeah,
living in the twilight zone.
it's it makes no sense.
Like that was the question I wanted to put forward,
Mm.
and I want to put it to John as well. But he's in the chat. Hopefully, he hears it. Is
Yeah,
did we miss the boat with Conte?
I think we did.
Like, what's your opinion on that? We missed the boat with him.
Yeah, I think we did. I can't recall like the amount of who's he managed
He
Juventus?
managed Juventus first. He's the one that gave Pogba his debut. He'd won the league for the first
Yeah,
time with Juventus since they got back from the Serie B. He won. He broke the hold on the
yeah,
Milan teams. Then he managed Italy national team. He got to semi-final.
yeah,
Managed Chelsea, won the league, won the cup.
yeah.
Went to Inter, broke the Juventus hold, 9 years in a row, won the league by a canter with Inter. And then
Mm.
he's out of work because he fell out with the owners at Inter. And like, I just don't know how you
Well,
don't
if you,
hire that guy. He wanted the United job before the Tottenham job, regardless if he says it or not.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
He said it. He
yeah.
was
Why
saying
wouldn't
he
you?
wanted it.
Mm. Yeah, I think we definitely missed the boat
Like,
there.
he's a serial winner, and you just go,
Yeah,
let him go, and then sack your manager 2 weeks later. Like, it's just. And Reborn is saying, yeah, you
yeah,
definitely did, because we did. It's just,
yeah.
it makes no sense.
And now like you said, like last week, like we spoke about, we're just playing catch up now at the
Yeah.
moment. There's nothing out
There's,
there. I mean, there's
there's
options,
options
but
there, but there was managers. Now you look at Liverpool,
mm,
arguably the best coach in the world. Man City, arguably the best coach in the world. Conte, arguably the best coach in the world. Tuchel, he just won the Champions League. People saying arguably the best coach in the world. They're our four rivals.
mm,
Where are we? We're the biggest club. Like, where are we to that? What we had Ole, who got
yeah,
relegated with Cardiff and won a league with Molde for one, and now we don't even have a
yeah,
manager. And these guys got
yeah,
all these serial winners, and we're just sitting there,
mm.
waving the white flag, like,
and
yeah,
and they are tactically, in tune with the game
oh,
and know it and know what to do and then what decisions to make at the right times. Like Ole just looked lost
yeah,
at, you know,
yeah,
in most of his games. Like every time, like he just, it didn't look like he knew what he was doing. Like,
yeah.
he tried to make a change or whatever, do a different, and then by the end, he's pulling out that formation against Man City, like just, you know.
Reborn saying David Moyes. I'll tell you what, man. Listen, what he's done after what happened to him with United and that. I mean, taking the gig after Sir Alex Ferguson was I believe that was the hardest job in the history of football. That's
Yeah.
my opinion. The taking the job after Sir Alex was the hardest gig ever, ever, and
Yeah.
it shot him.
Who's ever going to
He
follow
went
that?
down, and he struggled for a while, and now he's back with a team that's nowhere near as good as ours, and they're way better. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I'll give him so much credit, Moisey, but if he'd never managed Man United, they'd be talking about him to take the job now.
Yeah.
They would. They'd be talking about him. It's just,
Yeah. Why wouldn't
that's
they?
right. Like last week they beat Liverpool, man. They lost
Yeah.
this week to Wolves, but like
They haven't.
it happened. He's doing so well. Like, they're flying. They're absolutely flying. And it's just like Reborners agree. We Conte has this thing about him. We missed the boat with him so much, I think, because he's got this thing about him that you play bad, you're scared you're getting dropped. Let alone getting dropped, you're scared he's going to kill you. The guy's crazy. And that's what it is. You got to have that element of fear from your coach. Once your coach is your mate, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
That's what they had with Fergie.
That's
like,
right.
You just didn't. You knew if you played shit. Like Diego Forlan wore the wrong studs on a fucking game, and he was petrified he was going to get sold.
There you go. There you go. Like they always say, Fergie was like a father figure in that. And what I always say about that is, mate, most people are scared of their father because your father's this authoritative figure. Well, that's what it is. It's like, but once it's your mate, I can get away with things. It's he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I was saying it to Johnny the other week, no one ever said. I never heard anyone say Alex Ferguson was a nice guy.
No.
I never heard anyone say, even look at other sports. No one ever says, oh, Michael Jordan was a nice guy. Or Roy Keane was a nice guy. No, he just wanted to win.
Mm.
That we're going to touch on that right now, Reborn. So
tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, Michael Carrick's taking charge of Villarreal.
Yeah. What kind of team do you think he puts out?
To be honest, I think he puts out an identical OLE team, and why wouldn't he? Because he's been working under OLE for 3 years. Like,
I've got a feeling.
Other side of what Ole did, he's showing that it was all Ole. That Ole didn't listen to them. Yeah. That's what he's showing. So we will know tomorrow. Really, that's.
Yeah, I'm thinking something completely different.
If he does that, it'll show that Ole was the main problem. That's what it will show.
Yeah. I really just. I don't like putting the blame on all one person, but to me, Fred has got to go.
But then why the guy gets picked for Brazil? He keeps Fabinho out of the Brazil team, man. And Brazil are 10.
How does that happen?
Brazil are 10 points clear in the South American qualifiers, and he plays.
So obviously they're not.
Well, he plays every game.
They're not utilizing him properly.
He keeps Fabinho, who's for Liverpool a star. He keeps him out of the team.
How does that happen?
Because a coach obviously knows how to use him.
Yeah, so he must be good then.
Reborn said, and he's saying like what I said. He goes, an OLE team. Oof, good luck. Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah,
but it's true.
Yeah. And yeah, is it Old Trafford or is it?
Not sure.
I think it is.
I'm not sure.
I think it is actually.
I'll check that right now.
Because I think we've already played away at Villarreal.
Yeah,
it is.
It's away.
So that's even harder.
Yes, the thing is,
as a team,
they can get away with it because they know they've got young boys at home and they got to beat young boys. The next game, they don't.
Look, if we lose those next two Champions League games,
there'll be riots. Like,
yeah,
it'll be crazy. But then, the big one is we got Chelsea on the weekend. And I honestly think they're throwing it away because they know there's not going to be a manager. I think they're just. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. I hate saying it, but they are a better team at the moment.
They are better coached, better team. They're just
better. Yeah, they got morale and whatever. Like I can't see us winning that game or even drawing that game.
So Reborn has asked us. We said about it. Give us a prediction for tomorrow morning. Then you've been good on your one show. You got your prediction pretty spot on. Johnny on his first show, he got all 3 games. He got a good prediction. You got him spot on. You've been spot on now.
He did.
Yeah, the first week when we predicted, he was spot on.
So are we predicting both games? Are we?
Give us a prediction for both. So we got Villarreal away. Chelsea, I believe, is away as well. I think.
Yeah, I know it sounds so bad, right? But just with the current state that the team is in, I can't see us winning either of those games. I'm going draw with Villarreal and a loss to Chelsea.
There you go. That's damning. See, Reborn has said, I'd be very scared of Chelsea. Yep. We put 5 past you. They're above us. See, the thing I agree about that is, Reborn, is Liverpool a better attacking team than Chelsea. I do believe that. I hate saying it. They are going forward. They got players like Mane and Salah that just go for the jugular. Whereas Chelsea at the moment, Lukaku's not playing, Werner's not playing, but they'll break you down like 1,000 cuts. I see like a 2-3-0 from them or something because we probably won't score against them. But Liverpool have that about them where they'll smash it. They can smash you. Reborn reckons
you're just cutting out your audio for a second.
Did I? What about now?
Yeah, you're good.
Reborn reckons we're going to get spanked in both. John has said Pochfee agreed. I don't know. Is that? Are you confirming that, John? Or are you asking us that? You put a question mark.
He's got a question mark.
Let's have a look.
I don't know. I can't. Villarreal, I can't see us getting spanked. I can definitely see us losing, but I'm going for a draw on that one. Maybe 1-1 or 0-0. Yeah.
See, they're not doing very
we
good.
might just sit
They're
back.
not doing good. They're actually 13th in the La Liga.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know. We're crap.
Yeah, I just even like with the current state that the team's in, I know we've gotten rid of Ole, but like you said, we kept Carrick on, and everything's still sort of the
Oh, but
same.
listen, players
So it
are
just,
a
but players
selfish
are,
bunch, mate. They might bounce because they
yeah,
know they got to impress someone. They don't know who it is, but
yeah,
they know we got to impress, and they might bounce, and it might be the best game they've played all year. We don't know. That's
exactly.
players. That's
Yeah,
how they are.
it's been it's been known to
Yeah,
happen.
that's how players are. So.
I can't see it. I can't see it happening against Chelsea, but maybe against Villarreal,
Yeah. See, there is an
especially
article
away,
from
especially away to Chelsea.
there is an article from the Manchester Evening News, and they're saying Pochettino. So they have written something in the last 12 minutes, apparently, saying they're just saying
Yeah, gonna cost.
about Man United. They can't afford to miss him again. But what I always say is, once something is in the MEN, the Manchester Evening News, that's come from the club, and they know that.
Yeah,
So I actually agree with John. I agree with him.
yeah,
The
yeah.
poor
He
dude, he
was.
cops so much stick. Okay, whatever he does, he cops it. He's probably
Yeah,
played better for our club than Maguire did. What's Maguire done for us?
he no, he did play good. He just had some shocking moments, and I don't think injuries really helped him that much
Yeah,
either.
but
So.
like the other night, right? And I always bring it back to anyone that's played that shimmy he went to do was never on. Cleverly
No,
was running that way. The way he had to shimmy was the other way to wrong foot him. I mean, and I played at my level and I know that. It was the dumbest move ever. He was always going to get caught. Like, there was no way you can't shimmy past a player when they're running in that direction because they got momentum. They're always going to get you. That's,
and you're on a
yeah,
yellow as
like,
well.
and for one, you're a truck. Like Reborn says, slabhead. Like, you're already slow and you're trying to get past a 5'8" midfielder that's running in that direction. It's
Yeah,
so stupid. Like, and these guys are professionals.
yeah,
Like, that's what sickens me. Makes me sick. Like, it does, man. Like, how is that guy is captaining our club? And then, you got John, he might be taking the piss a bit saying Phil Jones is better than Maguire. But you tell me, anyone in the comments, Reborn, John, whoever's there, like, where would you rate Maguire? They're saying you're the best centre backs in the world. Where's Maguire? Yeah, where is he, George?
yeah.
Where
Well,
is he?
how do
Yeah,
you?
I'm asking you.
He's not even in my top
There you
10.
go. Like, and he's
But
captain of Manchester United.
yeah, but not just that though. Like, how do you look at that price tag that they paid for him and think, yeah, man, we got our money
Who
worth?
bought him?
Wasn't it Solskjaer?
Exactly. So Ole bought Harry Maguire 80 million. Aaron Wan-Bissaka 50 million. So he spent 130 million on the defense, and we've got the worst defense in the league.
Yeah,
That's on him.
and
That's on
then
Ole.
and then he's bought Varane as well.
Varane
Like,
now for another 20 million, who is okay. He's one of the best centre backs in the world, but
yeah, we haven't really seen much of him yet.
Reborn has said
What we have seen of him is
that's
good.
what Reborn has said. I agree with this. I totally agree, Reborn. He said he is not a captain. I think that's affecting his game. Too much pressure, maybe.
Do you think they should have given Bruno the captaincy?
I think they never should have taken it from De Gea. De Gea was captain.
Yeah.
When Ashley Young was actual captain, they were giving it to De Gea because Young wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And he did what he did last weekend. De Gea came out, we lost the game, and he ripped the team in an interview. Said we were a disgrace. And it was widespread news. They knew it. The GLAZERS or Woodward went down and said, you're stripping him. He's not allowed. Captain can't talk about the team like that. And they stripped De Gea of the captaincy. And then Maguire became captain. And then I always said to John, that decision coincided with De Gea going in a bad run of form. Harry Maguire becoming, it was a chain reaction of shit. Like at the time he was the best keeper in the world. And you strip him of the captaincy.
Yeah.
Because he probably said the truth like he did the other day.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Well, how many times did?
I agree with Reborn. Spot on. De Gea. I don't think you can give it to Bruno. Do you know why? I think Bruno last year, yes. But how can you give it to Bruno when Ronaldo's his national team captain? Or is he going to
Yeah.
go be his captain when
If,
Ronaldo's like his idol? How's he going to captain him?
yeah. Yeah.
That's why I
Exactly.
think De Gea, just give it to him. De Gea or Ronaldo. Ronaldo's
Yeah.
only going to be there 2 years. You know, if we don't make Champions League this year, I think he's gone. So,
I agree.
I reckon it's in his contract.
Yeah, at least like he's missed the Champions League, like
That's
you said
right.
last week. He's not going to be not
Yeah,
playing
no, we're not
Champions
in the
League.
last year of his career, let's say.
No.
Last year of what he believes is his prime. He's going to have Messi there for PSG scoring goals, breaking his record to be spewing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, yeah, like Bruno, I would have given it to him last year, definitely, like you said. But now I don't think he can have it. And I think, because I think he's proven to be mentally weak this year. Like he missed the penalties, played terrible. Like it's like he's, I don't know. It's like I don't know if he's trying to impress Ronaldo. What? It's just he's been terrible.
Yeah,
like
he's been a different player this year.
It's like he's fallen off a cliff. Like, and it's like I said to you guys last week. This is all on Solskjaer. Bruno was one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. Now he's off a cliff. I said it to you. It's like Van der Beek, Dutch international, doesn't get in the team. Rashford, like all these players, he's ruining players.
Yeah. Was Ronaldo ever not in his prime?
Yeah, that's a fair call. Listen, Ronaldo's amazing. Like, and you got a guy like that in your team. You need a coach that can get the best out of that. And Ole obviously couldn't do it. No. Ronaldo, it pains me to say it because it would have crushed me if he did it. I would have hated him. But I bet you there's a part of him that regrets not going to City. Even though he's a Man United legend, there'll be that part of him that thinks, I could be at City now and I'll be on fucking 25 goals already this year. Because I'll be scoring goals for fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
Yeah, you're right though. The only thing that stopped him from going to City was us coming in at the end and signing him.
There. John Messi rang me and goes, I hate Ronaldo now. And I said, mate, I want to kill him. Like I said, like he's dead to me. And then it's all flipped around and I'm like, I'll put my Ronaldo shirt on. I love Ronaldo now. He's the best.
I love him again.
He's the best. He's the best. But that's fans. We've got to be fans, don't we? So better silent that. So we go into, we touched on it a bit earlier, and I said to you, my thoughts are that I think Carrick will take Villarreal, he'll take Chelsea, but I think the new manager will be in the stands there. What are your thoughts? And who are you actually leaning to? Is it Rodgers? And what do you think is going to happen? How soon are we going to have a manager? Or are we going to run this interim train for another?
I don't think we can run it because they need to make a decision and the club is declining and they need to steer the ship. We need a manager in within the next 3 games.
Yeah.
And the more and more I'm reading about it and all this news is coming through, the Pochettino thing might actually be a bit more of a, even though he's just like went to PSG.
It just makes sense because PSG is such a hard gig. Like Ancelotti failed there. Tuchel failed there.
Yeah.
It's such a, I don't know, it's a weird gig because
it's such a rich club and they want to win the and they want to win the Champions League. The league to them, they've won it so many times. I think it's
a weird gig. See, I actually agree with what Reborn has said now, and I know a lot of people, it's a touchy subject to the English, but I actually agree with him. He said, talking of City, Phil Foden, most overrated youngster ever. And I actually think he's overrated, Reborn. I do agree with that. I think they gas him up.
What position he play?
He plays across the front line, like left wing and that. I think the English media gas him up so much, obviously, because he's English. But, I mean, he's nothing compared to Mbappe at that age. Don't care what any of them want to say. That's my opinion. I don't know. Johnny can comment on that. Reborn can actually tell us what he thinks about that. John reckons Poch is in Manchester right now. Behind the scenes chats going on. That's what I said. I read it just now, John. If it's in the MEN, they've leaked it. If anything comes out of Manchester Evening News, it's from the club because they never write a thing that's bad about the club because they don't want to get on their bad side. It's always from then.
Yeah.
So
Well, that being said, then I'm leaning more towards Pochi at the
yeah,
moment.
well, listen, you never know if that stuff's true, but I'm leaning to Poch, and I'll take him. I'll rather Poch than Rodgers. That's my opinion.
Oh, I do too.
I'd rather him than him.
Plus, Rodgers coached Liverpool, and I don't like
That
that.
kills me. Reborn. See, I agree. Yeah, he goes, if he wasn't in that City team, he'd be average. I know that the English have they've hyped him up like but if you look back, I know Reborn might not want to admit this because he was Everton and Man United legend, but at that age, compare him to Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
I don't care what any of them say. He's nowhere near it.
There's not many people you can compare to Wayne Rooney.
I'm just saying, but that
from like the young age as well coming through.
But what I'm saying is that at that age, Rooney is a generational talent. They're making him out to be. Oh yeah, John, that's true. Foden's a beast in Football Manager. Yeah, I'm sure he would be. But I actually
how much does he cost?
I agree, he's overrated. Yeah, he is. I agree. They talk about things. I watch all these pros, and it's always they're obviously English commentators, and they're like, "Oh, look at that technique and that he did," and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And even Rob, what Rob? Rob is a Man City fan. He reckons he's overrated.
Yeah.
Good friend of ours, that's a diehard City fan, reckons he's overrated. So, what does that tell you? Yeah, Reborn agreed. See, nowhere near Rooney. And that's true. It's true. So, we've gone with what John said. If John's right, you're leaning to the Poch, you're saying, obviously.
Just, from what you're saying in the, in the stories and all that stuff, if these things are being reported and there is some truth to them, then I would have to lean towards Poch. But there's still the possibility that they go with Rodgers as well because English, he's got experience in England as well. And
but Leicester are below United at the moment, and they're playing terrible. So is it because he's thinking about the United job? Is that what it is? Like,
I don't know, man. I've always had a soft spot for Ranieri.
Yeah, I like him, but I don't think I think he got his league with Leicester, obviously. Like he struggled with Chelsea when Abramovich and all that. It's just he's struggled with Roma. Reborn, are you saying that because you don't think he's good? Or are you saying that because you're a nice guy and you want Man United to come back? I don't know how to read that. That's why when everyone was saying, I hope you keep Ole because he's shit.
Yeah.
You have to elaborate on that. Elaborate a bit. I think you might be teasing us a bit. I don't know. But, listen, I said, if Zidane wants the job, go get him. If he doesn't want the job, send him a box of chocolates, man, and say, get away from it. We don't care about you. It's, if Poch wants it, go get him. And if what John's saying, I don't know why John can't have this breaking news when he's on the show. When he's not here in the chat, he's got all this killer breaking news. Doesn't give us this one.
Yeah, and then when he's on the show.
He's on the show, he's in heaven with his white screen just dancing. You know what I mean? Next week, John, you better have some breaking news on Monday night, all right? I want any of this. Any of this. I really
hope my predictions don't come true. But what are you thinking? What are your predictions for the next two matches?
Tell you what, Villarreal away, even though they're not doing good, is not going to be easy.
It's still an away game.
It's just still an away game. It's just that as well. Emery's he's more experienced than Carrick now, isn't he? Like he the same he was with Ole. He's a better manager.
Yeah.
And it's a real hard game. Like when they beat us in the Europa League final, Emery made 5 subs before Ole made a sub. So, Reborn said, no, I like Poch. He's a good manager. As much as I dislike you, Manx, it is kind of sad to see our rivals folding so hard. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. I get what you mean.
It's the same way we felt about Liverpool over those many years.
That game when they're playing, you want Man U Liverpool to be the biggest game. Every year you look into that game But this year we
You
were
want
like,
it to
we're
be a
not looking
cracker.
forward to it, and there was good reason we got spanked. Like,
Yeah.
John reckons call him John Romano. It's Fabrizio's underachieving little brother. Call you John, the coach of the MA Lakers, he reckons. There you go. They're just getting in all these personal jokes in the chat. I like it.
I reckon Chris just got up. I reckon Chris just got off the toilet.
Dude, I don't know, Reborn, if you just saw a couple of hours ago we did this food challenge, mate, Chris was paying me out. He goes, the first time I've ever seen you with your stomach was poking out. I was dying.
Oh my god, I can't believe how much he ate.
Dude, Chris is a beast, man.
I was watching it going, oh,
Dude,
what the
he's
hell?
next level. Like, I reckon on another day he would beat it.
I think he had an off night, man.
He did. Another day
I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, when he did
to the
go to the toilet, because when I watched the video for the Big V, like he was struggling at the end, but he forced himself.
He said that he could have done that today, but he didn't want
he
to.
did. Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah,
I was watching him. I'm like, man, I know he's got more in him, but he knew what happened to him after the last one.
Yeah.
So like,
listen. Hopefully, on Thursday night, we're hopefully trying to get the clip up that I've got on my phone of the big man after the Big V challenge. And me and Chris are hoping that we're going to be able to bring it up during the podcast on Thursday so everyone can see it. It was the funniest moment of my life. John reckons he called it early. John, man, I saw that thing coming to me and I said to Chris, there's no way I'm doing it. I saw it coming and it was a submarine, bro. It was this.
I saw that thing. It was the size of your arm, but when Chris, even when he saw it there on the table, he was like,
he was so confident, man.
Those chips.
Dude, he was so. Chips. You know what though? On another day, if that was the same day, he would have beaten it as the Big V day. Like he
would have. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was funny, man. It was so big though. Like he's saying you ain't wrong. Yeah, he knew. Chris knew. He was like, I could have kept going, but it would have killed me.
Well, that's the thing, man. You know, like after you've done that Big V thing, and you know how much food you got in your stomach, and you said like, you know, you got that clip of him how off he was, and then you talked to him, and then you talked to Amanda, like she was telling us how bad he was, like, you know, like the next day and that as well. Like, why would you want to put yourself through that?
He was funny, man.
He probably could have kept eating.
Off day, boys, he reckons. Off day. Nah, we forgive you, big man. You did well. People were coming up and seeing this guy come up and talk to us, and he was like, "You eat all that?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like,
"Yeah." Well, even when the manager came over, he goes, "No one's ever done that."
He knew no one had ever done that much. Like the big man's an animal. I don't know. He's crazy. It's next level. Well, we'll get back on topic now. We've talked. No,
Sorry,
it's all right. It's all right. I love it. So we've got in the next fixtures. So we've pretty much ridden off Villa. Let's just say, don't worry about Villa. We've ridden off Chelsea. We've got Arsenal.
I have.
Crystal Palace. I'll get the actual fixtures. Let me get the actual fixture here. So we've got Arsenal home, Crystal Palace home, Young Boys home, Norwich away, Brentford away, Brighton home, Newcastle away. So going up to Christmas after Chelsea, bar Arsenal, we've actually got a real good run. That's why I think they're going to bring the manager in for Arsenal, and he's got this run that he could win them all. I
was going to say, if we should be expected to win all those games. Definitely. There shouldn't be a draw or loss among them.
No way.
We are better. We have better players. We got the, you know, like you shouldn't lose those games. No way.
I agree. Like we should be beating Arsenal at home. It's Old Trafford. Crystal Palace, Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Young Boys, Old Trafford. Norwich are bottom away. They got a new manager, but their team.
Crystal Palace scares me because they got like a couple of fast players up in front and they good on the counter attack.
So Reborn has said, that's a good question. He said, your starting 11, who would you pick? So who would you pick Man United's starting 11?
Oh, so De Gea, Luke Shaw left back, either Lindelof or Bay centre back with partner with Varane and Bissaka. Now, central midfield. I don't know. I really don't know because it's such a problem area. You can go so many ways. I wouldn't play Pogba. I
Fair
wouldn't.
enough.
I'd drop
Fair
him.
enough.
I'd drop him. I
He's
just
suspended
don't
at the
think he
moment,
plays for the. Yeah, I just don't think he plays for the club. He plays for himself.
yeah.
So I'm looking at either Van der Beek partnered up with. I don't know. Like, can Bruno play a central midfield role or even like a bit further up? I don't know. And
Well,
then
he's an
like
attacking midfield.
you know
That's where he's been playing. So
yeah, he's attacking midfielder as well. So maybe playing behind Ronaldo. I'd like to see. You got like I want to see what Sancho can do on the left, and then you got Greenwood, and then you got Rashford and Ronaldo up front.
you've got a
Like that.
plethora of attackers.
You got a plethora of attacking options, and I just don't know. Like that's why I'm not a manager because I just don't know how to utilize all those players
Yeah.
together.
Well, for
But
me,
you're a bit
oh,
more. You've played soccer your whole
I
life,
would go
so
De Gea,
yeah,
Wan-Bissaka, Varane, and I would actually go Eric Bailly. Personally, that's me.
yeah.
I think Maguire needs to be taken out
He
just
needs
so
to
he
be
can be
dropped.
shown.
Yeah,
Listen, you can be dropped, and Lindelof has been shit
yeah,
too. So put Bailly in. Luke,
yeah.
you know what? And even Luke Shaw at the moment, maybe give him a break. So
Maybe
listen,
Tellers.
man, Tellers is playing because you've been shit.
Hmm.
Show us the Luke Shaw that scored for England in the Euro final. Show us that Luke Shaw. Otherwise,
Yeah,
Alex is playing.
yeah,
And I would do that. I would actually drop him right now. Say, listen,
yeah.
Teller's coming in.
Makes
And then
sense.
I would actually play, instead of a number 10 like we do with Bruno, I would play Van der Beek or Matic sitting.
Yeah,
Say Matic sitting, I play either, maybe him and Van der Beek and Bruno as the 2 8s. Or, I don't know if it would work, I'd have Van der Beek sitting and Bruno and Pogba. But then again, Pogba again is suspended, like you said. He doesn't play for us. And he's leaving, so I'd fuck him off. you know? But and even Fred, he obviously does something as a box to box player for Brazil, so make him a box to box for us. Van der Beek showed when he come on the other night he can play the roles, so give him a
yeah,
role, he'll play it. So I wouldn't mind Fred, Van der Beek, and Bruno, but tell Bruno's got to be told. Listen, Bruno, you're not a striker. Don't go running around there like a crazy bloke. This is where you're playing. He needs that. Players
mm,
need instruction, whether they believe they do or
they
not. The only
do.
one in that team that probably doesn't need instruction is Ronaldo and De Gea.
We know these.
Because that's
Yeah,
it.
well, they know what they
That
do.
Ronaldo's one of the best players of all time, and De Gea's is a goalkeeper. He knows what he's got to do. That's it.
Mm,
And then I would have Ronaldo up front, Sancho on the right, and Rashford on the left.
yeah,
That's what I'd do. And if there was a way you
Green,
could get
like
Greenwood would be coming off the bench at the moment. If there was a way I could get Cavani and Ronaldo in the
yeah,
same team, I would do it.
it would be
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
If I could somehow one of them, put Cavani on the left, I'd do it. But at the moment, I'd go Rashford, Sancho on the right, Ronaldo up front.
yeah.
And that's what I'd do.
That sounds like a good team.
He goes with Fred and McTominay sitting at Old Trafford
Yeah,
against Burnley. Why
yeah.
you got two defensive midfielders against a team that play long balls?
Well, we touched on it. We touched on it last week anyway. Like people used to already be defeated before they even
Oh,
got to
that's
Old
right.
Trafford. Like they knew. Like yeah, we're coming here. We may get a
That's
draw.
right. Yeah.
Maybe.
We might get a shot on goal, let alone a draw.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they that like he
So
plays these two defensive midfielders every game. Man, I was
yeah,
saying it to John on one show, Einstein's definition of insanity was making the same
mm,
mistake over and over. Oh, they
yeah, and
kept
not
picking
doing
the
anything about it.
same team over and over, man. You're
Yeah,
done. It's not working. You are done. And like I
yeah,
always say, he's a legend, man. I love him. He will always be a legend. He gave me
yeah,
the best night in my footballing fan ever.
yeah.
But
Actually, one of my mates.
I lost you then.
You, you there?
Yeah, I think got you back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. I think my internet's a bit
Oh,
crap
sorry.
out
You're
here at
back
the
now
moment.
anyway.
Um, he tagged me in this tackle that Ole he got like a purposeful red against Newcastle when I got to send it to
I
you.
reckon I know
He
the one
like he
anyway.
ran, yeah, he ran across. He was the only one coming, and they were 1-1 at Old Trafford, and I don't know. And he ended up coming in, and then Beckham's like smacking him on the back of the head, going, good job, because he knew
Yeah,
what he
of
did.
course.
It was like an instant red. He just
Because he
lunged
took it
him,
for the
nowhere
team.
near the ball.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. So
right.
that
Oh, listen, he'll always be a
that sort of
legend.
stuff. Yeah,
Like, no doubt about it, he's always going to be a legend. Like, we're always going to
yeah.
love him.
I haven't had a chat. Yeah, haven't had a chance to watch his exit interview yet, which
Oh,
I thought
don't
was
watch
pretty
it.
bright. Which, nah, is it
It's just
just
sad. Like, the club, I
yeah?
think, hung him out to dry
I
again.
don't
Like, what club does that? The guy was
I don't even
crying on
know.
TV.
I don't even know why they did that. Like, why give him an exit
Nah.
interview? Like, he doesn't
Did
need it.
Mourinho get an exit interview? Did Van Gaal?
No one
You know,
got it.
did Lampard?
No.
Lampard's a Chelsea legend. Did he get an exit interview?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. Like, all right, so we're coming to the last 10 or so minutes of the show. So
Yeah.
you're a gambling man. They've said to you, George, you got some money now. We want you to put money on who's going to be the manager, the next Man United manager, whether it be an interim manager or whether we said like they get their next manager. Who are you putting your money on? And in the chat, the boys
Just
can tell
after.
us.
Yeah, well, I mean, just after talking tonight, I was more at the beginning of the podcast leaning towards Rogers, but I'm 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 leaning towards Poch.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree. And I'm actually
I'm
happier about that.
just bec-
I'm with John and what you
I
said. I
think
mean, he coached Liverpool, man. It doesn't
I
sit with me.
even my mate at work who's a Chelsea supporter, he said it to me about I don't know, even when like because he was coaching Tottenham before, wasn't he?
Pochettino, yeah, he got him
Yeah,
to Champions League final. They lost to
yeah. So
Liverpool.
when they sacked Poch, he was saying to me, he goes, they should have got him. They should have got him.
Yeah, yeah. They should have. They stuffed up then. He's been on the United radar for 3 years. This guy, like
Yeah,
Chris reckons Goldberg should be the next manager, and then Reborn reckons John Cena. Goldberg
yeah,
was smash Cena.
yeah, but if John Cena took the job, you'd never
You could
see him.
too.
He
That's
wouldn't.
right.
There'd be no one in the
And if
coaching
Goldberg
box.
took the job, he'd be headbutting all the tape, all the wall, all the doors. Like
Ah,
Goldberg's the best. Goldberg's the best, man. Imagine Stone Cold was the Man United manager. He'd be like,
Do you know what?
go to say something back to him, and he'd go, "What? What?
Yeah, it wouldn't be such a bad thing to have Stone Cold as the
I'll be the
manager because
best."
you could just he would definitely get the best out of the players.
I reckon the equivalent of Stone Cold being the manager is just getting Roy Keane.
Yeah,
Hey man, go get Roy Keane for
I
6 months. He'll straighten him out. Say, hey Roy, do you want to be
oh
the
yeah,
interim manager of Man United, please? And just put some fear into
yeah.
these guys.
Dude, I guarantee you at least 5 players would be
Oh
sold.
yeah. Chris reckons CM Punk would definitely deliver you a championship. That's
Yeah.
terrible, man. Terrible.
So,
Yeah, see.
I tell you though, like talk.
Yeah, go. Say what you're gonna say.
No, I was going to say, talking about Pogba again, like he never really wanted to be there.
Nah, I don't know. He came back. I think he got sold something by the Glazers again. Listen, we're going to build our team around you, etc., etc. You're going to be our number one man. Rah, rah. We're going to back Jose. You know, we're going to back him. And then they didn't. I just think he was another one that just got lied to. And then he just fell. He's like, yeah, nah, I can't be effed with this anymore. Like, it's just, I'm done.
It just doesn't seem like he like it doesn't he doesn't feel like a Manchester United passionate player.
And
like,
this guy was in our youth. Like, he's from the club.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, and it just doesn't feel like it though. It's just just. And I hate to always compare it back to like our dream team of back in the day, but your Scholes, Beckham, the Neville brothers, Nicky Butt, like just all those players that came through, they were just
I loved it.
They were there for the club, man, and they would bleed bleed Man United.
Yeah, well, it's like I said. It was like I said last week, like, and Reborn paid me. He paid me out about it. I was like, I'll give a limb to play for Man United. These guys going out playing for Man United and not giving effort. Like, please give me a break.
Did I give a limb to just walk out on the pitch?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, please, like, are you for real? Like, you're not going to give effort for, like, and that's most fans of United a lot. Like, I remember Reborn paid me out. He's like, I wouldn't give a limb to play for them, but Man United fans, and then it's of any club. You see players not giving effort for your club that you love, like it does your head in. Reborn said Nicky the Butt. He was Nicky the Butt. Nicky was a good player, man. He was alright.
Come on, man. He jumped really high in that fucking
Nicky Butt was a good player. But again, he was another one, like, when his time was up, we got rid of him. There was no sentimentality. Phil Neville, your time was up. See you later. Beckham, for whatever reason, your time was up. You're gone, man. Like,
time gone.
But, like, the sentimentality we've had with Ole is just borderline ridiculous. Like,
he
got booed last week. And that, like, fuck, you're booing a guy that scored a Champions League winning goal for you. You know what I mean? Like, but they caused this. They threw him under the bus. I said that.
Yeah, they just. It's just even though we've got I hate to say the word, but relief. The relief is there now. It is relief. It is relief, and they've done what they should have done a few weeks back and sacked Ole.
Yeah.
There's still there's still that anxiety in my chest because
you don't know what's next.
I don't know what's next. Like, what are they doing? Are they just going to keep an interim manager for the next, the rest of the year?
That's what's scaring me. I don't think the players.
Yeah, because I don't think the players are going to want to. Do you think Ronaldo wants to?
No.
Like they want some. No, they want these players. I know we say like they're half-assing it or whatever, but they want to play Champions League and they want to play. They're Man United and they know who they are and they want to be the best.
Of course.
Or at least I think they do.
You'd imagine so. It's like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's when you don't know what the future's like, you don't know who's going to be the manager and that. What are you playing for? Like they're going to be going out thinking, oh, well, if Carrick's giving us this instructions, what if someone comes in next week, it's going to be a completely different instruction? Like, we don't know what's going on. Like,
and not just that now, even if we do sign a new permanent manager, how long is it going to take for the team to form around that and start adapting to those tactics?
Correct.
Because fucking, team building's a process, man. It's not like it doesn't just happen overnight. Got to get used to the new coach, got to get used to how he is. And,
So Reborn has said, Roy Keane had Gary Neville good the other day on TV. Gary Neville was saying how long he'd been at United. Keane goes, we had no other right backs. We were stuck with you. Roy doesn't mince his words. I mean, he is one of the funniest pundits because he just does not care. And it's like people look at him. It's hate him. It's not that they hate him. It's even the other pundits. You can still tell that because of playing against him, that there's this element of fear to him. You can tell that even in the punditry, that they know he was just a warrior, that there's this element of they think, man, he could just snap and just do something like he's...
And just smack him
like there's this... You see it with the other pundits. I reckon they've got this element of fear, like he's crazy. Because they know he was on the field, he was like that. Like, he's next level. He's the best. I'd take Roy Keane just for the lols. Like, it'd be the funniest.
I don't know, man. It'd probably be better than some of our midfielders playing now. You could put him in
that's what I don't get with Carrick. Why don't they just say to him, do you want to play? They'd do a better job, I reckon. Listen, can you just go in there and just play for a couple of weeks? Like,
man, I'd put Scholes in there at this point. Just stay in the circle in the middle and pass the ball.
He'll do a better job. I'm telling you, he'll do a better job.
100%.
Yeah, he'll do a way better job. All right, so we've pretty much come to the end. We've talked about who we think the new manager is going to be. We're all leaning to Poch. John has come in with breaking news, and we'll say because of John, you heard it here first. Pochettino's in Manchester, he said, and John lives in Manchester, so in his
Yeah,
digital world anyway. So
he does.
so I mean, I'm leaning to Poch. Reborn has said he'd like to see Poch there, and that's coming from a rival fan just because he thinks it will lift United. You're leaning to Poch now. It sort of seems like from what we're hearing, what we're reading, that's who they want, and apparently it's that's who they want. That's the only way of putting it. That's what they want.
I can't see anything happen unless something stupidly crazy happens.
I don't think we'll have a manager until after Chelsea.
No, you're right.
That's my opinion. Oh, listen, I could be way off.
Yeah.
But I think Carrick will take Chelsea, and maybe the next manager will be in the stands. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm going with that. That's my bet. I mean, they were talking about Steve Bruce yesterday. He just got sacked from. Got sacked from Newcastle in their bottom, and he's gonna be our interim manager just because he captained us. They're terrible.
Yeah. It's
Reborn is saying he'd be shocked if it wasn't Poch. So, and that's someone who's over there saying that. So, there you go.
There you go.
We'll put it on Reborn. You heard it here first on the Johnny and KP show with KP and Gio. No Johnny. Johnny in the comments.
Johnny in the stands.
But Johnny will be back next Monday. His work schedule is letting him do that. So he'll be back next Monday. We don't know when you're going to be back. We're not sure.
I'm still. I think I'll be in Waiala probably for the next, maybe up until next Tuesday. Maybe
we'll see. So. We'll give you a call, and if you want to come on the Monday show, we'll get you in.
Yeah, if I'm still here, I'll do the same thing as I did tonight.
You and John again. We'll converse before that, but. Thanks to everyone for watching. Reborn again is an absolute champion. Comes in.
Definitely.
Please, I don't know if there's any lurkers watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment. Reborn, get your Liverpool fans in on the show with us, man. What's going on,
Look, it's really endearing to have I've known Reborn for a few years now, but considering the fact that he's a Liverpool supporter and comes and talks on a Man United podcast,
Reborn.
It goes to show you what kind of guy he is.
The big man was saying that about him. He comes into most of our podcasts. He's a champion. He comes into most of our podcasts, not just the United one. He comes into the normal ones, and he really supports us, and we really appreciate it. He's real good, and I think he's asking you a question so you can answer that.
Yeah, he was one of my when I was streaming a few years ago. He was one of my very supportive friends. He was always, whenever he could be, he was always there watching me stream and stuff.
I told George he should start streaming again, but
I just work gets in the way, and it's a bit hard.
He's a Geo man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only explanation I can give you.
That's
why we try to get him on the show here with us, and getting involved and doing this because him and Lucas have fun here with us. So Lucas loves it.
Yeah, Lucas and I, we've had some good times on his stream as well.
Oh, he's loving it. He told me he loves coming on the podcast, loves it. So he goes, if you get beats, good banter. He said.
Yeah.
There you go. We got it, Reborn. You got to get some of your Liverpool mates in here, man. So they can get in this chat with us, and we can have a laugh.
Yeah.
Guys, like we said, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Like we said, if there's any people in there that haven't been commenting in that, and it was real good to have everyone in, especially Reborn again. And we'll catch you. It'll definitely be me and Johnny next Monday, but Gio might be there with us, and we'll catch you then.
Thanks, guys.